know about that. Don't have to explain now.
In Bayelsa State this Saturday, the Independent National Electoral Commission (INEC) has added the name of the APC candidate Timmy Silva to the final list of candidates for the poll. And still to come, presidency tackles Labour Party presidential candidate Peter Obi. Stay with us. Aide Bayo Onanoga has criticized Labour Party presidential candidate Peter Obi for his media conference on the Supreme Court ruling yesterday. In a statement, Mr. Onanoga said Mr. Obi cast doubt on the integrity of the justices of the Supreme Court for affirming Tinubu as winner of the February 25th elections. During his media conference yesterday, the Labour Party candidate, amongst many things, advocated for a constitutional reform to allow for a 5-year rotational single term.
I will go for 5-year tenure, which will go for 30 years rotational, 5-year tenure. And I'll still campaign for one thing. If we cannot go back to issue of parliamentary democracy, we must have a quasi system that will allow our leaders to be able to be part of the legislature, especially to answer questions.
The Minister of Information and National Orientation, Mohammed Idris, has reacted to the recent U.S. travel advisory on Nigeria. The minister says that while the government appreciates the concerns of the U.S., it is commonly known that such advisories do not achieve anything other than needless panic, have a huge economic impact, and undermine the government's effort to attract investment.
To ensure the safety of tourists and international guests. These measures include intense intelligence gathering, acquisition and development of additional platforms, training and mutual of personnel, cooperation with international law enforcement agencies, among others, to maintain a secure environment for all of us.
Moving on, President Bola Tinubu has sympathized with the Canadian government, the diplomatic community, and all persons affected by a fire incident that occurred on Monday at the Canadian High Commission in Abuja. As you may know, a diesel tank explosion at the generator house at the Canadian Embassy left 2 people dead, and two hospitalized with severe burns. The incident happened at about 10:45 a.m. yesterday. The Canadian High Commission of Nigeria has temporarily suspended its operations until further notice. In another news, some tanker drivers in Port Harcourt say there is no cooking gas shortage in Port Harcourt, but marketers can no longer afford the product at the post. For details on this, catch the business news at 7. And on the international scene, Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu says Israel will have overall security responsibility for Gaza once the fighting ends. The Israeli Prime Minister also resisted calls for a ceasefire, but said humanitarian pauses might be possible to let aid into the enclave and Israeli hostages out. Now that's a wrap of the news this morning. Before we go, let's have a look at the major stories. The police say they are investigating another Uniport student's death. PDP chieftain David Briggs is faulting political structure claims of former Governor Wike. Hoodlums vandalize pipelines in Ubeta community, Rivers State. INEC has added the APC candidate to its list for Bayelsa State governorship election this Saturday. Presidency has criticized the Labour Party presidential candidate Peter Obi. And on the foreign scene, Israel plans to take security responsibility of Gaza after fighting. The news was edited by Chioma Ezonwafo. To reach the news team, send an SMS or WhatsApp to 0808-721-725. Peace is a part of the prosperity of a nation. Let peace reign. I am Ifechukwu Moyali. Many thanks for listening.